Hello, fellow Minecrafters. Boone here, and I just finished clearing out the mobs in this mansion, but I'm still going to need to do a few things before it's done. I'm going to need to make some living quarters, a work area, clear an outside area, find some villagers that want to live here, abandon my horse, and make a portal to the nether. But before that, check out this intro. Alright, so after I cleared the mansion, I went out and started doing all the jobs that I needed to do. First, I checked out the front yard, see if I could build it, make it a nice yard, but looked like I was going to have to move too much dirt. So I decided to go out and looking around for a village. Um, Came across this island. It was really close, so that was pretty cool. And checking out this island, I found some horses, which I really need at the end. And I came across this village over here. I was looking for a villager who was a Fletcher, but I was unable to find one, so I had to build a fletching table myself. I then put it over here and started looking for wood so I can make sticks and trade up and get some XP. Looking around, it was all desert biome, but over there I saw some wood. So I went over there and cut down some acacias. And while I was here, I did some scouting and I was able to find some sheep and get some wool. After that, I went back to the village and made some sticks so I could repair all my armor and tools. This is the third guy I had to get to finally do the trade. The other ones just wanted to trade arrows. So after I maxed out on the trades, I had my armor up a little bit better. Afterwards, I had to find a spot in the village that was closest to the mansion, so I wouldn't have to travel as far. And looking around, yeah, this is about it. Right around here. So then I had to find a place where I could have my volunteers stay. This place was already used by that sheep, and although I'm going to need a sheep eventually, he wasn't the one. Then I found that little place. Had two beds and was closest to the mansion. So I just waited for nightfall and for Taylor and a farmer to go in there. Once I found them, I decided to close them in there. Sometimes I close them in, sometimes I don't. This time I decided to because I don't want to mess around with it and get them lost or have them killed or anything. So I just put some dirt outside so they couldn't get in and out. So the next day, since they both had occupations, I went through the whole village. First, I destroyed all of the looms that I found. That way, the villager that I had that was a tailor wouldn't have a job anymore. And then I had to go and destroy all the composters. I put them all back so the other villagers could take those jobs. Afterwards, I checked to make sure that they didn't have any jobs. So I tried to talk to him and get a deal. He didn't want to give me a tailoring or a farmer deal. And I just double checked to make sure that they were both jobless. Then I decided to work on the path to get to the mansion. So I had to clear out this river a little bit just to make it passable by rowboat. Then I still had to open it up to the ocean. So it wasn't too bad. Just there was so much sand that I had to remove here that the water really wasn't too didn't flow too well. So I had to go back and eventually fix that. So yeah, just tearing it down and found the ocean. Next, I had to make a little launching pad. Since I had them trapped in there, I wanted them to just walk out into the rowboat. So I had to make a little area, and after I was all done with it, it pretty much looked like this. Just a little guide full of dirt. Then I had to go back and start my train track. I wanted to find the X coordinate that aligned with that brown block I put in the mansion. So it was right around here. So I lined up with that, and I figured that's where the train track would begin. Then I had to go into the mansion and find the other end. So here's where the train track's going to end on this coordinate. So I just busted the wall out, cleaned up the area outside. Then I needed some dirt to make a path for the minecart. So I just took all this dirt. All this is going to be emptied out anyways and taken down. So I made the little path. That's where the minecart's going to be traveling on. And I blocked this up. Although the mansion's clear of mobs, there's still mobs outside, and I don't want to come back to find mobs inside the mansion. Then I had to finish building the mine track. So had to tunnel through this hill. Wasn't too bad of a tunnel. It was only about 100 blocks, and I made it 3x1. And I finally made it to the end, and I could see my torch outside that I laid down earlier. So just to make sure no mobs came in here, I put a block right there. Then I went back to the mansion. The next day, I went back to the original area where the minecart starts, and I had to fix it. I was off by 1 block, so I had to put a little left turn there. Then I went back to the mansion and I cleaned up this room. I needed it empty because this is where the minecart's going to end up going. So I took all this down, cleared everything out of here. Then I went out front because I was going to make a front yard, and I started to clean up the area. But then I started thinking, well, this is kind of a pain. If I'm going to be moving this much dirt and breaking down this many trees, maybe there's a better area. So I went back up to the 3rd floor and looked out the window, and the 2nd story roof was pretty open. So I started thinking maybe I'll just build the outside area on the 2nd story roof. I've done this before on other mansions, so this isn't anything new. It's just I'm used to doing it out in the front. So there's a little bit more work, but less work. It's up to you how you want to do this, if you even want to do this. So just started breaking it up and putting down dirt, and here I grabbed all the dirt that I had. Whole bunch of dirt. Broke down all of that fencing there just to have it nice and clean and have some good dirt there with grass growing and everything. So I started putting down all that dirt that I had, all those stacks. And within a couple of minutes, I was out of dirt. So I had to go find some more dirt. Found this nice little hill that had a bunch of dirt, so went and collected a whole bunch of dirt. So you can see how much area I still have to fill. So I just started filling up the whole area. And yeah, I got a whole bunch of dirt now. Should be easy. But then, yeah, there's always little challenges in this game, and like running out of dirt. So I ran out of dirt again. All those stacks were gone. I had to go get more. Before I did that, I grabbed my pickaxe with Silk Touch on it. So much dirt there, I wanted to put grass on it. The grass will grow naturally on the dirt, but it just takes a long time if you do not help it along. So what I'll do is with the Silk Touch, I'll pull up some sod, and then I'll just put it in the middle of the dirt see right there and right here, other pieces of sod that I put in there, they're already starting to grow. So this, you don't have to do this. I just do it so the grass grows quicker. So then I went back, got some more dirt, and I thought while I was here, I may as well get a couple of saplings from this tree here. And after cutting down that tree and cutting down a couple of more, I got one sapling. They didn't want to fall. I got tired of waiting. And you can see the dirt that I planted, or the sod that I planted, is already growing up all the grass. So I finally got all the dirt that I needed. And I finally filled in the last part of the roof that needed dirt. So there, I had it fully covered in dirt now. And the grass was starting to grow. Since I had some dirt, I made a little area so I could grow my sugar cane. I used the sugar cane to make paper so I could trade up. And then I filled it with water. I'll trade up all the paper and eventually get a map to another mansion. And there goes the sugar cane. I think I made it 32. So that's full stack there. Then the next day, of course, I had to put down the lily pads. I hate going through the water trying to get stuff. And I decided to clean this up a bit, get it all nice and going. Got myself a sheep, sheared the hell out of him. Had to make so many beds. As you can see, the grass is growing real nice now. So is the sugar cane, so are the trees. I put a fence around the whole roof where I planned on having the villagers and everybody live. Planted a couple of gardens. I'm going to use this to feed the villagers once they get here. And took down some more trees. And now that I had the fence around this whole area, I was able to build a stairway up to the third floor. Once I got up to there, to the third floor roof, I got my horse. Like I said, I started playing this mansion about a year ago. Then I had to stop, and now I'm back at the game. So this horse has been up there for more than a year, waiting for me, thinking I put my last block down. But nope, still going. So yeah, once I brought him down, I just let him have free range of this little area since it's fenced in and he can't get away. Then I went back up to the third floor roof and put a fence around there so if any mobs do come up, they won't fall down on me. Then I had to clear out this room right here, and I'm just making an area for the crafting area and a bedroom for the villagers. So added nice little stairs there with a door. And in here, I put a bell. I generally get the bells when I'm traveling to the mansion. I'll steal them from other villages. Then I brought the two golems up here so they could hang out here and live their life. And then I blocked them in so they wouldn't wander away. Then I put this up here. I always put these on the bedrooms. Just use it as a golem guard because golems like to step on the villagers' faces when they're sleeping and bugs me. So there's their room with a little door to the outside. Next, I went out front and I started doing work on my portal to the nether. This is generally where I put them. I put them in other locations, but I like to put them out in the front yard, right in front of that window. And here's the portal almost done. Putting my glass enclosure around it. That way I could see in and see out. And there it is. Now the thing about portals is you know as well as I do, you never know where you're going to end up. I've had one that I call the portal of death. It was just in the air, no support. If I would have walked off, I would have fallen into lava. So before I step off the portal, I take a look around and see what's there. This one, it was right next to a fortress. So I was kind of lucky there, but after looking at the fortress, it really wasn't that good. It was a broken up fortress. So looking at the other side of it, yeah, I only had one step. If I would have taken 2 steps that direction, I would have taken a dive into lava. And that's what I don't like about these portals. They're fun, but they can be scary. And in real life, I'm not afraid of heights, but damn, playing this game sometimes, kind of like freaky. Like, look at that, I don't want to fall. Yeah, I'm so paranoid I can't even place a block on the edge. But eventually I got some blocks down. Then I put some glass around it so I wouldn't fly off the edge. I had this built up too. Then I was even more cautious and I put cobblestone railing on the side just to make sure I don't fall off. Because, yeah, I don't want to deal with trying to get back up. And I finally made it into the fortress. But like I said, it was kind of half-ass. It's missing a lot of the components. So a lot of the halls just lead to nothing. They're blocked off. You guys have probably seen one of these before like this. So you start going, then there's a dead end, or there's a opening, and yeah. So after exploring it for a couple of minutes, I decided to bail. Really wasn't worth anything in there. Then I went back and started working on the mansion again. Had to open this up so I could drag one of the golems outside. I like to have one outside and one inside. Normally, after a while, when you get enough villagers in here, the golems start populating themselves. And then I cleared this out and made a little room for the crafting area. Then I had to fix the duck, which I think this is the only duck in Minecraft because there's only chickens. I don't think chickens have beaks that wide. I'm guessing that's a duck. Then I went to go make the rails, but since I used all the gold on the apples that I had earlier, I couldn't make the right rails. I made the other rails, but those just knocked me out of the cart. Yeah, it's been more than a year since I played this, so I'm trying to remember everything, but still forget. So I had to go look for gold. I went into this hole. Really had nothing in it. Just a couple of skeletons and a dead end. So the hunt for gold began, and I was kind of bummed out. So instead of doing anything productive, well, I guess I did do something productive. I went and I fixed this water area. Then I traveled the desert looking for gold. Found a couple of shipwrecks looking for gold. But yeah, there was no gold to be found. I even checked in here for gold. There was no gold. Just a bunch of illagers that were all pissed. So I went back here, worked on this a bit. That's the fun thing is there's so many different things that to do that if you get burnt out on one thing or don't want to deal with it at the moment, you could just go do another thing. So rather than look for gold, I just went on a test run, make sure that that worked well. Yeah, it worked. So then I put down all the railroad tracks that I had, and I just took them out of my inventory to make room for all the non-existent gold I don't have. I started thinking, well, Nether usually has gold. Maybe I'll go back in there and find some. So I went back, made it back here, started looking for gold again, going through the hallways. Found these guys. I was like, well, if I can't get gold, maybe I can get a nice skull. but no, no skulls. And this is when I realized this place was all jacked up right there. See that? It's just an open hallway to nothing. So I did eventually find some gold, but it was way the hell up there. No way in hell I wanted to climb up there today. So on my way out, ran into these guys, and I ducked into a little crevice, but they went above me. So I lucked out, didn't have to fight them. But then going back to the exit, I saw them again. So I hit them with the arrow, popped them right off of there. Then I went downstairs to go finish them off and realized I didn't know where the hell they were. So I decided to give up and I just went back to the real world. Then I decided to go where I dug up the dirt because there was a hole here. So I had explored it a little bit, but I didn't go too far. I went to right about here and decided to go down and down and down, and eventually I found some gold. Found all the gold I needed. Then I had to get rid of this scabby beef jerky just to get the gold. So then I was finally able to make the tracks that I needed. So I went back and started laying down the minecart tracks. Once I finished it, I took it for a test drive. Went right through that glass. Yeah, see, it's a quick trip. Maybe 100 blocks. Then I had to make this so when I bring in the villagers, they don't escape. I want to bring them in there, make them go into the minecart, and then get them into the mansion. So I went back since I had the minecart track set up and I rearranged their rooms so I would only have to deal with one at a time. That way they'd be less likely to make an escape. So I put a wall there and I moved this guy around. I wanted him to go up to the second bed. That way as soon as he woke up he'd fall right into the boat, in theory. No, when he woke up he just wanted to go visit his buddy. So I had to block his buddy off even more and block him in there, and yeah, he didn't want to get in the boat. But eventually he made it in there. And then I tried to take the boat through the glass. Didn't work. Only works on mine carts. And then shot the rapids. And after getting hung up, I was able to get him down. So I got him over to the mansion. And then I brought the second one over. So this is the second villager. So I got him in his boat and I locked him in so he couldn't get away. I got him on the tracks, but he just started spinning. But eventually he made it into the minecart. I gave him a good push and I jumped into my own minecart and followed him there. At first they didn't want to sleep, so I had to keep on breaking their beds until they went to bed. But eventually they both went to sleep. Now that they were asleep, I had to make them sleepwalk up to the third floor. So I opened up the gate, put a little blockade here so they couldn't get past. I already had the beds lined up leading up to the third floor, but I needed one more bed. And I wanted to put it right about here. and I didn't have a bed, so I took that one. And then I went to go get him, but he was already on his way. Once he got comfortable, I broke his bed, and he started sleepwalking to the next bed. I got him all the way up, but then I got the second guy all the way up. And I finally had them both on the third floor. So this was starting to work out, starting to get it all done. Next day, I traded sticks with this guy, and yeah, got a bunch of XP and got all my armor and tools up to par. Then I realized I had two of the Fletchers, so I busted his, and now he is a cartographer. So I was able to trade him as much of the paper that I had that I collected from the sugarcane that I grew. Then after the first day of work, I decided to feed them. So I gave them their seed, then some carrots. I usually give them about 8 each, and some potatoes. Just feed the hell out of them. Then the bread. The bread, I don't know. It seems like when I give them bread, they have babies quicker. Maybe it's just the amount of food that I give them, but they seem to be happier with the bread than with just the food. So I tried to watch, but they don't want me to watch. So I let them do their own thing. I started making some sticks so I could trade up more if I needed to, get some more emeralds. I checked on them, and yeah, they were happy. They were making the babies. At least I thought they were. Then he bailed, so I went to go see what he was doing. Yeah, there's the baby. So yeah, first day. First day there, first feeding. They're all happy. There's the mama, the daddy, the baby. And yeah, I let them free range all the time. I don't cage them up like I've seen a lot of other people do. Then I went back to the place where I got them and I cleaned up the area just to put it back to the way it was when I first got there. That way, if I ever come back, it'll look natural. I'm never going back. And I fixed up the house, put in some more beds. And when I got back, these guys were going at it again the next day. That's without a second feeding. That's still off the first feeding. Like I said, I just let them free range. I don't cage them up, so they're always happy. They're always popping out little babies. And finally, I traded enough where I can get another map. So this is the map to the next mansion I'm going to. So there, it looks like it is southwest of here. And start the cycle all over again. So that means I'm pretty much done here at this mansion. Just got to clean up a couple of things. Give him his diamond armor that I found in that in the Nether. Do a quick tour of the area. Then gave him some more food. Same as last time. Same foods. Last food is the bread. And like I said, I let them free range. I don't box them up and make them stay in a little cubicle. I've seen a lot of other players do that, and I've never understood that. I guess it's so they don't get away or get lost, or I don't know, but the free range guys seem to work okay. Yeah, the only disadvantage I ever see with not locking them up separately is sometimes unemployed villagers will take over their crafting block. And when you get a bunch of librarians trying to figure out which one sells which enchantment or try to remember. So after feeding them again, going at it again, they're all happy. Yeah, people always say it's hard to get them to breed, but so then I went back downstairs and put my map up. This is the map that I used to get here. This is where I generally leave it. In case I ever come back and want to wander around, I have a copy of the map and kind of know the area. Then I went back upstairs and checked everything out. Looks like I have 3 adults and 2 babies right now. Not too bad for a couple of days. Then I had to go back outside and I had to open up the rail tunnel a little bit more. Instead of it being 1 by 3, I'm now making it 2 by 3. Didn't take too long. Then I went upstairs and got the old horse, and we went into the mansion, rode around the whole mansion, and blocked everything back up. Finally made it down to the first floor, and I took him to the end of the rail, opened that up, closed it back up. Yeah, I hate mobs walking in there, so I'm always constantly opening and closing. Then we went through the tunnel. Then we went for a quick boat ride. Got to make sure that he's not on land and walking too slow, else you're going to lose him. And yeah, I hate having to row backwards to find the horse that I lost. So just take it slow and easy till you get open water, then you can take off. He'll stay right with you. Got him back over to the island. I'm going to go dump him off with those other horses. Oh, got to get that. Can't leave a lead. Got to collect them all. So here we are on one of our last runs or rides together. And he was a good horse. He helped me through. The only problem is going through heavy brush. That's where you just use your shears. And if you're going over swampland, that's when you use your boots with frost on them. So I tied him up, put him on a fence post. Then I found a nice horse for him. This one only had 12 hearts. And out of all the other horses here, this one right here had 13 hearts. So I decided to break it or tame it. Eventually I saw the hearts. So once I got that done, I got the golden carrots. Fed one to that one. And before I fed him, I just rode him one last time right over here. And I gave him a golden carrot there. Now he's got a family. He's not alone. He's not stuck at that mansion. He could live his little pixel life here and be happy. Then I went back to the mansion and I kept on hearing mobs. So I stacked up some dirt and went up top to see what I could find. And then I realized that there was a little secret room back here. Yeah, then I saw the zombie walk by, so I knew that there was something in there. I got close enough, put down a torch. I was getting ready to take him out, and then I realized that he was fighting another mob. So I let them battle it out. Whoever won the battle could fight me. And he won. He won an arrow in the ass. So I made it into the little secret room, and there were 2 chests in here, but they really weren't that good. Just a bunch of junk. I think I already even had that album. So no gold in here, so that wouldn't have helped me earlier. So I just took all the junk that I normally take. The other box was pretty much the same. Nothing really good. But I'm greedy, so may as well take it. I'll leave the scabby beef jerky. And here's the outside during the day. This is what it ended up looking like. I planted all the flowers that I had, took down a bunch of the trees, took down the sugarcane thing. And look, cats. You know it's a village when you see cats, even when they don't move. Hurry up, move. So nice little yard for them to hang out in. Got their gardening areas over here. I put down some composters so they could use it. Still got that sheep. I'm still collecting wool. And I really like this area right here. This was already here when I got here. I'm glad I left it. Nice little hideaway area for the villagers to come out and hang out if they want. And then here's their crafting room. See, I got more than 5 villagers now. And basically, this is all the stuff that I collected along the way, and all the stuff I got out of the mansion, so that's my take-home stuff. It was okay. Got a couple of more Tomes of Undying, or Bart Simpson dolls, and double check that. And normally when I'm leaving, I go back outside and go into the nether. But yeah, I don't feel like it today. I didn't like this nether portal. Didn't take me to any place good. So just decided to go upstairs and say goodbye. And as I was getting ready to say goodbye, I saw these guys. They all had some hearts going. And there he is, another free range baby. So afterwards, I just teleported home and went through my normal stuff and got my new map and I put it up on the wall. Then I put down the coordinates from the mansion that I just finished so I could find it again. Then I put a note up here. Guess I'm going to have to fix it since it's a fortress, not a bastion, but still stay away. And I looked at the map where I came from to get to the mansion that I was just at, and looking at the numbers, I think I walked about 30,000 blocks to get from one to the other. As far as how long it took to get to the mansion, it took about 28 Minecraft days or about 6 hours and 20 minutes of real time. But you got to keep in mind that I used at least 2 of those days collecting resources, exploring any villages I found, and repairing and entering all the broken nether portals I found along the way. To set up the fences and clear the mansion of all the mobs, it only took about 90 minutes. And even though that seems like a long time, getting the 2 villagers setting up the mansion and making it livable took about 44 Minecraft days or 10 hours and 41 minutes of real time. It always varies on the time it takes to do each step, so don't think it's going to take too long or be real quick because you never know. Here's some other mansions I've done in the past. It looks like the first one that I got volunteers to help me. And these other ones right here, I think I just used villager eggs to plant the villagers there. So they all have their coordinates, and they have notes at the top telling me what I have there. These just say portal, but there were other ones that were more in depth. You can do whatever you want if you decide to do this at all. Well, that's about it. The only thing left to do is feed the cats, but I don't have any food on me, so I guess I'll feed them some other time. Um, Hope you enjoy this video, and hope you try this out. It's pretty fun to do. See, you get a collection of those little dolls, and after a while, you get a whole bunch of them. So, like I said, hope you enjoyed it. Hope to see you next time, and I think my next video is just going to be a quick night ride. So, see you then. Bye.